Hi all. It is the 28th of March, about 5 o'clock, and since it's spring break for Harrisonburg County, I was able to go early today. So I went for a couple of hours um, after class today, and I noticed that the kids were being so wild. So I naturally asked what they had been doing all day, and they all responded with like, "Oh, what we're doing right now." And so I kind of just like pried a little bit more, I guess. And they said that they had been inside all day playing on their phones, and they watched a movie, and they were playing pool and board games and stuff, but they had not been outside. And I asked why, and I overheard the kid then go ask an employee, and the employee said because it was too wet. But it was really nice today, so that was kind of a bummer they didn't get to enjoy it because it's been cold all week and it's supposed to get colder and they needed to be outside, but they weren't. But anyways, I also asked one of the kids, or a few of them, what they had had for lunch at the center, and they replied with corn and a meat sandwich. And so I asked what kind of meat, and a lot of them couldn't tell me what meat. They said hamburger, and so I asked, "You guys had a hamburger for lunch?" And they said, "Yeah, but it didn't look like a hamburger, but it was meat." And I said, "Okay, well, was it chicken?" And they knew what chicken was, and they knew what steak was, but once I started saying like turkey and ham and roast beef, they actually they couldn't like specify which was which. So that kind of like put up a flag for me that maybe these kids' nutritional knowledge is pretty low. So if I was to go into the Boys and Girls Club and perhaps put together a lesson to teach them some information, I'd probably go nutritional route, and I would start really basic. Since it's such a broad and diverse community there, I feel like I could I could relate the lesson to a lot of them. Um, so I think that would be important too in teaching a health lesson. The Boys and Girls Club is that it would need to be very broad yet specific in some cases because the kids are very different and they're coming from houses and homes and families that are so different from one another. But I think that if I was to go in there, I would love to teach a lesson about literacy when it comes to nutrition and what they might know about nutrition and what they should know. Really important stuff. So that was pretty cool to think about if I was to have that chance. But then also I started talking about like physical activity with some of the kids, and I said, well, on days like this when you guys can't go outside in your home, what do you do? And some of the kids were like, oh, play video games, or one girl said that she liked to read, and I thought that was really cool. And so I was like, oh, well, that's really neat. But of course, the moment that she said that she liked to read, her friends are like, oh, well, that's lame, and reading is for nerds, and I don't like to read, and stuff like that. So I thought that was obviously discouraging for her. But I did talk to one little girl who said that she loved to dance, and I kind of like touched on that, and I was like, hey, well, I think that's really cool. And you know, dancing is like a great exercise, and she actually didn't know that. So I talked to her and two of her little friends about how moving your body in any way, whether it's dance or tumbling like they like to do, doing their cartwheels over and over again, or the splits and stretching. I said all that stuff is so important, and if you enjoy doing it, then you should every day, and you should do it with your friends and practice new things. But I also made sure to talk about safety, and that maybe inside's not a great place to tumble because it's small and you can get hurt, obviously. But I think that I used my time today really well, maybe more so than last time, because I was able to talk more about important things that they really relate to, like being active and their interest in being active, like dancing or tumbling or being flexible, and then also talking about food and the importance of knowing what you're eating. So I thought that today was a productive day at the Boys and Girls Club. But then also I think that's good. That's all I have in my notes. So yeah, my timestamp. Oh, well, that is not good. Well, 28th, March 28th, there it is, maybe.